Alrighty, so first up we do have Quadfather. So it doesn't look like he's in the chat just yet. But yeah, Quadfather definitely like more in the beginning stages of playing this game from what I remember of watching him. So definitely not a bad thing. You know, y'all got to start somewhere. And the good thing is like with by doing to these things, doing these critiques, you'll just kind of like pick up more and more as things go on. So this isn't on the current patch, so technically isn't in the fact that we don't have a small battlefield, so we're not going to have to analyze that stage at all. But what we are going to analyze is going to be Young Link versus Duck Hunt. So this matchup's kind of interesting. I think like out of all the links, I don't know if Young Link or Toon Link is easier for us to fight. I'm more prone to say Toon Link is, just because he's a little bit slower overall. Or Young Link, at least if he gets in your face, it kind of makes it hard for Duck Hunt to start up anything. However, it's like against specifically Young Link and Toon Link, we can outcamp them very easily, and we can outrange them very easily too. It's just the bigger thing is that Toon Link's going to hit a little bit harder if you happen to trade with him, where Young Link, you're not going to really have to worry about like dying early as much. He does have like a standard up B combos that he can do that they can kill you around like 120-ish, somewhere around there. If not, he'll also kill you with like raw nair off stage, which will generally be the way that he's getting those outside of like his projectile confirms into like fair or down air. But so yeah, overall, Duck Hunt and Youngling kind of struggle to kill about the same for the most part. It's just that because he's so light, Can kills a lot more reliably in this matchup compared to a lot of other ones. So that really helps. Not to mention, it's really easy to shark him with up air just because the second and third hit boxes of up air are really, really good for just like beating out literally every single move that Youngling has. So it's not hard to anti-air him, and especially when you have like all these platforms to work with, you can trap him very nicely in order to get the kill as well. So that's kind of what you're going to be looking to do. You're going to be looking to block a lot of his projectiles with gunmen. So if you get the lanky or the black coat one, if you get the special downs, basically like Young Link's neutral is kind of dead, especially if you can get them to stop in the air. Just because it's really hard for him to get anything around it. The other thing too is with us being so low to the ground, it's harder for him to really use arrow pressure on us. So you don't really have to worry about that move all too often. And the other thing too is like basically, he does have more control over his projectiles compared to Adult Link and all that stuff, especially with Boomerang. So you can have a little bit of an easier time like messing with Can with that. Not to mention a really good Zair, which is something him and Toon Link have. So he's got ways to deal with them, but it's like overall you can kind of like prevent his camping from working, and you can sort of overwhelm him with your own projectiles. Not to mention, it's like all of our projectiles are pretty good at stopping him from pushing forward too. So those are going to be the main things that you look for. However, we're starting off on Yoshi's story, and this stage is like very small, very close quarters and everything. So it's going to be really hard to set up like an effective wall against him just because of how small the stage is. So ideally what you generally want to do is like you want to set up a gunman below this platform over here. So that way you kind of prevent like all of his projectiles from like coming over here and hitting you. And then he's kind of forced to come in a little bit harder, and then you can sort of bait out a lot of things by playing defensively. So it's like if you know how to play defensively against a character like Young Link, especially like his buttons are extremely safe, then you'll do really well in this matchup for the most part. But if you want to go more aggressive against him, you just kind of have to know what the openings are within his offense, because they're definitely there. It's just you have to know them, because the timings for them are kind of tight, especially with like how fast he can move and just zip around everywhere, and him not being the biggest target by any means also. So a lot of precision, a lot of character knowledge has to go into it as well. But it's something that's very doable to do. So let's see what he does. So should probably turn up the volume. And as always, let me know if the volume's good in the chat. Yeah, you definitely don't want to throw out like that clay pigeon can there. That was very bad. Because when you do something like that, yeah, so it's like there by him hitting the boomerang there. If you did this earlier, this would have just like blown up on you right there, and then sent you off stage, and then he could have gotten potentially a whole edge guard sequence there. Misinputs. So that is actually one nice thing about the slants I should point out is because of the way that it goes down, it's really hard for his arrow to like realistically hit this. So if you just kind of crouch down below this, there's not too much you can really do until he runs up against you. Also, so like this is very useless because like you shielding on top of here, just like you're just like begging him to shield can you. But the thing is, he also has a tether grab, so he can technically grab you out of range of this and not have to worry about it. And the other thing too is like he can just keep pelting you with projectiles and not have to worry about approaching there. So in this matchup, you don't really want to do this. In a case like this, just turn around and do a gunman because then that way the can is guaranteed not to blow up on you. And the bombs, from what I remember, his bomb is not big enough to actually hit through you. But let's go to the game real quick just to double check that. Because I know, like, if it's adult Link's bombs, those can go through the gunman and those will hit you. From what I remember, I don't think that happens with young Link. So set him to control. Yeah, see, so because of the gunman, like his bombs can never hit you, even if you just do it standing. You don't even have to do like the wave bounce to keep you safe. Wait. There we go. Like you don't have to do that to keep yourself safe. So keep that in mind whenever you're fighting Toon Link and Young Link specifically. Adult Link, you'll have to do the wave bounce to be safe against him because his explosion is gigantic. Okay. That looked like a misinput, but at least it worked out for you. Also, like, after you hit your opponent, like, make sure that you get your fast falls down. Because then when you do that, you can follow up on whatever action that they do. So, like, if he did an air, you could have definitely, like, ran up and grabbed him. And then by him doing that air dodge there, you could have chased down and, like, grabbed him as well. There you go. See, that's the reason why you throw out your gunman. Not sure why you went for the back air there. So that's the other thing too, is like be careful with like how you're using your double jumps. Cause like you had a really good position. So like you jumped and then because he threw that boomerang, he's going to be in a decent amount of lag. Just to like remind you of how laggy they are when they do this. Pull up UFD real quick. Whenever Young Link throws a boomerang, he's going to be stuck in that for 45 frames. So if you fast fell through, you would have been able to hit him with a fair. And that comes out from 27. So yeah. And that's the other thing too. By just you like going here and like waiting to spam like Clay Pigeon, it just locks you there instead when you could just go up to him and like hit him and grab him. And also by you not having like the gunman out, it allows him to get free reign with the projectiles and everything. That you have to keep in mind. That move is really laggy. If he misses his grab, like you just need to punish him. Because a missed grab from Young Link puts him into 51 frames of lag. I think he did a dash grab, so that'd be 60 frames of lag. So you have a full second to hit him. Yeah, you went up a little bit too early. You didn't take into consideration the shield can. But you have to work on your execution on that. That's just a little bit off. So this is something really important I need to mention. In this case, there wasn't as much you could do, but there definitely was something you could have done. So when you're in a situation like this, where your can's just not available to you, you just need to focus on resetting it. But like, you know, kind of from where you were, it was a little bit hard. So you could have like upbeat back and then gone this way and then air dodged back. That was realistically the only thing you had available to you. That's a big drop too. You have to remember that being like underneath your opponent is absolutely terrifying, especially with Young Link, who does not have anything below him that's going to outrange your your up air. Because keep in mind, this is what his down air looks like. He has to hit you with this, and that's not very big. Your Duck Hunt's up air is going to outrange that. So by staying underneath these platforms, you'll be able to hit him when he's going that way. And then if he does no attack and he's going this way, then you get him with like back air, and that would take the stock. But now, because you've done that, you've allowed him to just get back on stage for free, and he doesn't have to take any damage for it. So that's a big, big drop. See, now you've set up the Gunman of Safety. You see, the other thing, too, is, like, you gave up. You didn't want to do anything to him, so now he's just pushing against you. Like, imagine if you had, like, something that was, like, bubbling up, and the only way to keep it down would just be to, like, pushing down against it. Think about that as, like, controlling the stage. By you just walking away, you're just, like, having a problem come up against you, and that's what, like, retreating like this does. See, like here, you control the entirety of the center stage. He has to come to you there. And then he does, and he jumps and does that fair. But instead, you back off all the way, giving you zero hope of actually punishing this. So what you're supposed to do is control this area, wait for him to throw out his attack, and then go ahead and punish him. So you should be like around here, so that way you can capitalize on it. And see, that's the reason why you don't go for Clay Pigeon. It just makes it really easy for a character like Youngling to just jump over and punish you. And that was super bad too. Whenever you hit somebody onto a platform, you need to be ready to hit. So like, I have no idea why you stopped there. When you hit somebody and they're in a position like this, they're forced to tack onto this platform. Regardless, you know that they're going to be trapped here no matter what. So all you have to do is just run up here and then just be ready to hit them with something. And like, because of that, it's like, you know, you put yourself back here instead of being right here. If you were right here, you could have up-aired them. But because you're back there, there was zero chance of you up-airing them. That was really bad too. Like, you're not even thinking why you're throwing this there. Like, he could have F smashed you for doing that. And just like, because just for how laggy it is and like the lack of protection that's going to really provide you in there. Again, you know, Clay Pigeon just locks you in there, and if he throws up something early enough, that's just going to break it on you. Yeah, see, like, again, I have no idea what you were trying to accomplish there. Like, you were right next to him, and, like, he threw out an up air. So I'm not sure what your instinct was to throw out a can, because like even if you like threw out a can this way, this would just blow you up too, and you're at a higher percentage, so you would have been up there, and he might have been able to even kill you off of that. Whereas like you had enough time to just like turn around, grab him, then like F throw, and then do a fair or something like that, and you know you would have gotten damage. You would have put him on the ledge, and then you could have done a whole ledge trap sequence right there. The other thing too is like, I don't think I've seen you go for a single grab. It's like, it's not even like in your mindset of something to go for. The other thing too is like, you're doing the sliding things. You got to remember, in like this game, you can let go of your stick and then like dash in the other direction to turn around. So you don't even need to like bother with things like that. Again, like the up air there made absolutely no sense because like he definitely was not jumping above you there. Like I hope you meant to go for like a forward air or something like that, but just like it just makes no sense. Okay, you at least had like enough sense to like cover him with your can there, which is something you want to do. So down tilt on shield. For what I remember, that's actually, like, safe. Yeah, down tilt's, like, -7, -8, -10 on shield, so I wouldn't really bother trying to grab that, because he's always going to be able to spot dodge, so you can't really do that. Again, that's a very useless maneuver to do. You want to focus on getting the can out. Because it's young Link, putting a gunman there is not bad because it provides safety for you to throw out your can. Like, see, like there. Because you put that gunman out, now as long as you keep him behind this gunman, none of his projectiles can get past this. That's why this is such a powerful thing to have here. So don't run back. Keep him here. Keep him behind this gunman. And there's literally nothing you can do with his projectiles to get around this. See, like there. That's a clay pigeon that makes sense because, like, the second he throws out something, you know you're not going to get hit. So that gives you free reign to throw that out. Again, like, you're not, like, paying attention to, like, capitalize on that. If you wanted to use the can to capitalize on him, you could have gone for that a lot earlier. Yeah, so he didn't spot dodge immediately. That was terrible execution. Make sure you practice that, because, like, that, just by, like, the inputs that you did there, I just know you were never going to land that. You always have to do, like, a little dash first before the jump happens, so make sure you practice that. That was the other thing, too, is you could have controlled that can the entire time, so you actually had the ability to hit yourself out, but because of your percentage, you probably would have died. But yeah, see, again, you're never attempting to go for a grab. The other thing, too, is remember, you can just... Maybe, I wouldn't tell you to focus on edge guard. You need to focus on a lot of things. But you can't, when you get better, you can focus on hitting Young Link when he's off stage. It's pretty easy to intercept him. Again, this is really good. So with the gunman being in the middle, you're more free to play around it. Just make sure you're behind it. Yeah, make sure you're paying attention to who's hitting the can. He got caught up in his inputs. Also, make sure you practice teching. I'm not sure if that's like a Wi-Fi issue, but you've missed, like, I think every single tech so far. Okay, that's a good sequence. Something I should mention, it's like, I think you were going for this, but if you haven't watched my Battlefield video, please watch that. Because, like, that tells you how you're supposed to cover these platforms whenever you're playing on it. Okay. Yeah, there you go. You've got a sequence. Yeah, so the way that he... Something you need to remember when you're when somebody's fighting against your gunman is that when they hit them, it is extend their hitbox. So if he didn't hit that gunman, you would have been able to get that punish, but because of this... that's the reason why you got hit. So if you went for a nair, that actually would have been a really good trade for you. But, you know, that just... because of the way the hitbox works on fair, it didn't work. But if you did nair, it should have hit him. Yeah, good use of the gunman there, but... Of course, you weren't ready to punish. There you go. Yeah, you played that last... You played, like, it wasn't great, but, like, you played that last stock a lot better than you did the entire game. So, more of that. That's what I'm hoping to see. So... Oof. Just do something real quick. Okay. Okay, there, we finally got our first grab. See, that's the reason why you don't go for clay pigeon there. Like, please watch my ledge trapping guide again, because it feels like you've never watched it before. Because, like, you're pretty much not going for anything I tell anybody to do. Because, like, that clay pigeon is just a huge window to get yourself punished. If you luckily landed on somebody, then you can get something going. Or if you do the one where you soft toss it and it lands there, then, like, yeah, okay, that's at least something. But you're going for, like, the hard toss, and it just kind of flies away and does nothing. And it's realistically got, like, 2 frames to hit something. So it's not really good for covering anything. And, you know, if you do land it, okay, cool. At 38%, it's not going to really lead to much. Like, he's still going to live no matter what you do. But like, you know, if you go for like your can setups over here and then you cover the rest with duck hunt like you were doing at the end of that last game, then you can do a lot more damage and you can just keep rinsing and repeating him a lot longer. So that's what you really need to focus on doing. You gotta remember, yeah, just like every single time you go for that clay pigeon, like if you miss, you should expect to just like die. Okay, there we go. So you do have the execution at least. So that's the reason why you don't run up and like shield right next to the can there, because then you miss covering roll unless your reactions are really good. And you have to remember, when they do get up attack on your shield, it just blows up the shield and then you can hit them. So it's better to stay back, because in that way when he does it, then you can like run up smash him. Yeah, a little bit late, but you could have punished that with up air. A little bit too early on that back air. It's just that's a multi-hit explosion, so it lingers for a decent amount of time. So that's a little bit more of a ledge trap situation there. It would have been better if you let the can sit at the ledge, but that works. Yeah, he just wasn't ready for it. See, that's a really good use of can right there to cover, like, so, like, there, that's a really good thing to do, is, like, if you have can set up and you're trying to retreat to safety, you have your can cover up your path so they can't chase behind you. And that was a good clay pigeon, because, like, he was actually jumping and throwing out an attack. So, like, when you see them commit to move, then you can commit to a clay pigeon, because they're already locked in what their option is. So then that way you can guarantee no if you're going to get punished or not for it. So that's a good thing to do. That was a little bit risky. See, why don't you grab? You have a grab. Use it. Used it like the one time that you really didn't need to. So, okay, when he goes for Nair, Young Link's Nair is not Link's Nair. Link's Nair is very good at beating out our up air. Young Link's Nair is not very good at beating out our up air. As you can see right here, like his hitbox, even the strong one, doesn't really cover his feet that much. So you can up air this. You don't have to worry about this one. Link Nair, hard to up air. Young Link Nair, that's very easy to up air. So make sure you're doing that when you see them just spamming it. See, again, like you just wasted your time there. It stores the knockback of the clay pigeon, so you can't hit it anywhere. Yeah, you weren't even watching him. You just wanted to run up and down tilt. That's a grab. Okay, that works too. So you also like think about the punishes that you're going for. So like in this case, like a grab would come out like frame, I think it's frame 9 for Duck Hunt. Whereas down tilt will come out frame 17. So you had like a lot more time to do a bunch of other things. So keep in mind, up smash is negative 22 on shield. So you have a lot of time to do a lot of things against him. Like with how close he was, I think you could even up smashed him. Let me double check that. Okay, no, he's a little bit too far away for that. Or maybe not. Let me check. Let's check that. Because, like, you know, if you could have just, like, up smashed him there, then that would have been, like, your best punish to go for. Because you have to remember, because of jump canceling, you can do up smash without, like, losing any frames. So we're going to go into this. So we were, like, somewhere here. So... yeah, you could have up smashed him. Yeah, so that would have been able to take the kill right there. So keep things like that in mind. Know your strong punishes. Like if they're unsafe on shield and you're close enough to get an up smash at them and they're like at 120%, that's a guaranteed stock right there. So that's just an important option to keep in mind. Okay. Yeah, so something you should keep in mind is to go back here. When Youngling's up there, he doesn't actually have a way to like kill you, so you didn't need to really go into shield right there. Also, I think you hit like a jump or something like that, because otherwise that should have parried. Yeah, that move doesn't have too much end lag to it, so you need to be ready to punish it. So if you're not, don't challenge it. When he does something like that, if you were there and you did your F smash, that would have covered him pretty nicely. But you could have remember you could hit him from the side with back air. That was a pretty good sequence. Finally you grabbed. Oh my god. Remember, okay, you gotta remember your F-tilt kills, and he rolled right into you. You had all the time in the world to set up that F-tilt, and F-tilt lasts for 5 frames. That's a very, very, very easy kill to get. So make sure you lock that into your system. Like, that is one ledge trap I haven't seen you go for, is to use F-tilt to just, like, kill the roll. And now because of that, you died. Oh, shoot, you're right. Thanks for telling me. So, let's go back over here. This whole sequence was played very badly. Okay, this. So we get the back throw here, which thank God he did that because he has not been throwing at all. So when you have this roll set up, like you need to have that F tilt ready every single time because like at 150%, especially if you do down angle, that's gonna kill every character at ledge. And it lasts for 5 frames, so it's very easy to catch. It's very easy to react to the roll tube with just like your F tilt. And like now because of this, like you went for something that was just completely wrong there. Yeah, then that was just able to like scoop you up there. With a gums. Yeah, I mean, at least you were able to bring it back even quickly, but like none of that needed to happen. Because like if he didn't have rage with that up smash, that wouldn't have killed you. There you go. That's how you punish that. Oof, yeah, that wasn't good. See, like this is a good setup now. Like now that you're being more conscious about how good your gunmen are against his like entire onside projectiles, you're stopping a lot of his neutral from happening now. Remember, you can just back air it or like F smash that. And bad misinput. At least you went for the F tilt this time. Okay, that works. Definitely down smash would have been a lot better to go for because like if he landed there, down smash is so much safer. Not to mention it sends behind you, so that would have killed him a lot earlier than F smash. So at least you were able to squeeze those two out. So okay, stadium. Again, this is the reason why you don't go for clay pigeons unless you have a guarantee. See, so instead of using clay pigeon there, just use fair. Like, please use fair in those situations. Because, like, clay pigeon is just, like, guaranteeing you are not going to get that punish. So, like, okay, so if you're there, you can move forward and use fair, and you'll hit him. And in this case, you could hit him, grab him, throw him to the can. And if you do it right, it'll send him back this way, and then you can up air him twice. Or you can back air him, so that way he lands somewhere on this platform, so you can set up, like, a whole edge guard sequence. So, like, that's how much of an opportunity you're missing by going for clay pigeon. Like, it just ruins everything for you. Like, especially at this percentage with this setup that you have. Like, clay pigeon is the absolute worst option you could have gone for. So just, like, learn to space with your fair. You really need to do that. Yeah, you need to be careful. Yeah, you need to watch your opponent because like that was a pretty easy up smash to avoid. So like something that you need to do. I mean, I know you're from what I can tell, like you're more just starting out playing this game. You need to get to a point where you're comfortable enough moving your character that you don't need to be watching your character. Like pretty much the way you should be playing most fighting games is at a point where you are only watching your opponent and you know exactly what your character is going to be doing that entire time, and you're not even second guessing what's happening with your character. Because by not doing that, that's how you're going to get caught by things like a random up smash like that, where he runs under you. But it's like if you have to focus and look at your character, then you're going to miss everything that your opponent's doing. Oh, wow, yeah. See, like, you went way too deep for that one. Like, again, like, if you were watching your opponent, that would have been a very easy one to down air. A little bit too early on that one, too. If you waited a little bit, you could have hit him. Probably killed him at that percentage, too. Yeah, see, that's something obvious to keep in mind is most opponents love to land on platforms, so just be ready to cover those with, like, either Duck Hunt or with the can, or you move the can in the way to make them land there so you cover it with Duck Hunt. Also, remember, down tilt and dash attack are your two best ways to move the can. Up tilt's not as nearly as good, so focus more on using that if you want to move the can really, really far. Again, just be patient. Cover the roll with Duck Hunt, because like that's guaranteed going to be the way that you're going to be getting like 90% of your kills. Can like covers this. It's whatever. If you ping it and it hits them, fine. If they do a get up attack, you shield it, then you go up and punish them. And then if you roll, then you kill them. That should be your logic generally when you're starting to learn to play this character. If a character rolls from ledge, that should be a guaranteed stock for you if they're at percent for it. Like you should just make it to a point. Like I think as you're playing early on, just tell yourself once they're at a percentage where they can die. That I do have to emphasize that. If they roll, they are going to die, and you just need to make sure that you have like your correct thing to kill them ready. So, let's say up smash will kill them, then just be ready to get that to kill because that's relatively low commitment. If it's F tilt killing, so 150 and above, then just be ready to do that one, which is the least committal that you have to do. And then, like, if you need, like, a super try-hard kill, then you could go for F-Smash, but that's very risky, and you need to know their roll spacing, too. So I would say the ones that you want to focus on would be F-Smash and, like, F-Tilt. Those should be your two. Yeah, remember, if you have your gunman there, there's nothing they can do with that projectile. So after you do that and you see them like start a projectile toss, you can punish them immediately. See, now you're getting your grabs in there. Also, it would have been just better to throw him, so then that way you get to control the stage. Also, keep in mind, the reticle hitbox of the can is slightly larger than the can itself. So, in this case... Oh, wait. Oh, you did have the clay pigeon out. So, if you didn't throw out that clay pigeon, you actually would have been able to ping the can, and he would have been pulled into the can itself. Just to show you what I mean, let me open up another UFD tab real quick. Actually, I can show you in game. And hopefully I don't forget to change it back this time. Okay. So. Let's turn this off. Let's get him standing. So. If Young Link stands like here, notice like where his foot is. He's like a little bit off, but he still gets pulled into it. So you could instinctively like take them out of these situations by doing things like that. In this case, we'll turn him that way. So he's a little bit, I think he's a little bit too far. But actually, no, that one pulled him in. And we'll have Young Link stand about that far. In that case, he didn't get hit by it. Let's pull him back a little bit this way again. Yeah, it's a little bit easier to like set it up when it's like this. Seeing there, it pulled him away. Another thing I should note is that depending on what way Duck Hunt's facing will determine what direction he's sent in. So when I'm facing left, that reticle shot's going to send him left. But when I'm facing the right-hand side... So when I'm facing to the right, he's going to be sent to the right. So in that case, he was close enough. But like if they don't get hit by it and they're sent away, that's the reason why. So I'm going to face left. Put him there. See, he gets sent left. So like you can do things like ping and then like set it up for up smash like that. So it's a really neat little trick to know, just because like there's a lot of like weird, unique combos that you can get off of it. So for that reason, it's worth knowing. And the good thing is I remembered to do this. So we're good. Yeah, again, don't hit your can when he's throwing projectiles at you because they'll just blow up. So that's why the gunman's really important. Good snipe. Yeah, so in that little sequence there, that F throw was already going to send him to the can. And from where it was, depending on when you decided to ping it, would have determined whether he would have been thrown back to you or what if he would have gone to the left. So if you did it early, then the ping would have sent him back and you would have been able to double jump up air him or back air him. And if you waited a little bit, then you would get a whole edge guard sequence. So that's something that you need to take into consideration. Again, yeah, you know, you were setting up your gunman fine earlier, but now you're not doing it. So now you're letting him like do all this to you. Yeah, it's an easy kill. Yeah, again, just like diminishing your shield like that is not advantageous. Yeah, so I will say this about Clay Pigeon on shield. So against a lot of characters, actually not the worst option in the world. I have to go back a little bit further. It's right about here. So against most of the cast, because of where this goes, this is really good at covering it. And like younglings in particular do like to jump a lot. So generally speaking, especially if you're playing against like lower level younglings, you'll probably catch them with this. However, if you run into a young link or a Toon Link player that actually knows the matchup, they can literally just grab you because they have a tether grab, so they don't even need to approach you for this. So if you're a young link player or Toon Link player watching this, keep that in mind. But as a Duck Hunt player, if you do this to a young link, Toon Link, ZSS, well, I would say young link, Toon Link, because ZSS actually wants to go for grabs a lot. This will tell you if they know the matchup or not. Because like this is something that comes up quite a bit. So that could be a very good general knowledge check. So if they know to tether grab you in this situation, I would say you need to control your projectiles like it's somebody that knows this. Yeah, it's Quadfather, not you. Also remember you can drop through platforms and hit them too. Yeah, so that was another thing too. If you're able to watch your opponents more, because he was stuck in boomerang, you could have just gone below him and up air him. Because remember, the boomerang is going to go in front of him. It can't hit below him, so that's a very easy target to hit. Also, Young Link's down air, when he lands that, there's a landing hitbox. Or there's not. It has 17 frames of landing lag, so that's very easy to just like drop shield and punish. Okay, good nair out of shield. See, okay, like at least you went for the F tilt there because that's really good at covering that. And remember, drop through platform to hit him because like that when he goes for a grab, he's stuck there for 1 second. It's very easy to punish. It's too bad you weren't aware that that was his down smash, because if you were, that you can punish that with a smash attack. For example, like hit 1 of down smash, that ends up being negative 31 or 33 on shield. So you have enough time to drop shield and up smash him. At least you jumped there. You're dead. Oh, no, he's too high. Yeah, you need to be a lot more snappy with your movement. Like there was no reason for him to get away with that. You should have been able to take his stock there. Like you had enough time to drop shield and up smash him. See, like, okay, that's a clay pigeon that makes sense. You're covered by gunmen, and he's clearly just sitting there and like spamming projectiles. So if he's not giving you a reason to not do it, then you can go ahead and do it there. That was so slow. I don't know why you were doing that. Because, like, you've seen him whiff this up B, and you have gone up to, like, punish him with fair and stuff like that. So I have no idea why you decided to shield, wait, and then hit him. Because, like, if you didn't do that shield there, you would have been able to punish him. Yeah, that was a free shield can, so good on you for that. See, yeah, don't go for the F smash until you see him actually like do a roll. Like there was no reason for that to happen. I think you meant to go for an F smash there, and if you did, that's fine. But yeah, you don't want to F tilt the up B. Yeah, just refresh your shield now. So like that's the issue of just holding shield and doing nothing. It's just like if there are moments where you don't need to deplete your resources, then don't deplete your resources. I think he shield poked you. I just want to double check that. Let me see. No, oh actually, I will be very bad if he shield poked you here. How? Why? I'm confused. I am thoroughly confused at what's going on right there. This makes no sense. There is no way that should shield poke. Is there like a frame I'm missing or something? Because if Duckhunt's getting poked like this, then he's got the absolute worst like shield game in the entirety of the cast now. I'm thoroughly confused. See, like, that's a really good cross up there. See, like, that was really risky, but like, at least it worked. There was at least a thought process behind that clay pigeon. Okay, good stuff. So, like, I'll explain. Let me break down why like that clay pigeon wasn't that bad. I mean, obviously, besides the point that you land it. Okay, it was before this. We'll go back 15. There we go. Okay, so here, normally, you would expect your opponent to fall down with an aerial. So in this case, if you weren't quick enough, he's going to be able to shield, which he was. So what you do is you fast fall land, and then you do an option that's a lot slower than the attack to mix up their timing. So then that way they drop shield when you land in front of them because they think, oh, you're going to go for a grab. And then you have that. In that case, it sounded like he was trying to go for an up smash. Yeah, it's a good sequence. Yeah, we're not at you yet, Wolfers. We're on Quadfather. Yeah, so that time I think he hit the duck, or if not, you did like a roll. Oh yeah, you can't get nervous. Can't get nervous like that. Again, when he whiffs a down smash, you can just grab that. Like, don't even second guess that. Okay, good stuff there. Okay, so at least you threw out the can to cover something, but I'm not sure if that was the direction you really wanted. And see, like, in a place like this is where you throw out Gunman to just block all of his projectiles, and it won't interfere with your can game either. There we go. Oh, no, yeah. So to say, if you waited a little bit longer, he would have been forced to land on that. You would have gotten a guaranteed punish. And at 106, you could have definitely killed a young Link. Oh, that's a fresh can. Really good use of down tilt there. Like, let's actually look to see like how much you avoided every projectile there. Okay, yeah. So the hitbox itself is like on this front part of it. So like even if you did run forward, you actually would have avoided it. But still, like regardless, just to avoid projectiles and stuff like that, doing a down tilt like that's really good. Yeah, that's for sure. Again, yeah, remember if he's going for Nair, against Young Link, you can up air that very easily. Good stuff. Yeah, good coverage there. Like, against Young Link in particular, like any character that's light, dropping down Gunman's really good, just because you're going to actually kill them pretty early. So there's actually no reason to not to go for it. Okay, this is cool. So this is the second time we get to see this stage, so let's see what adjustments were made. Looks like we might have had a little bit of a false start. Again, like Clay Pigeon's a mix-up. It's not like a main neutral tool you're going to be on. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, you took his jump with that. Again, like, I still haven't seen you make a single tech, I think. Like, you need to really work on that. So something to remember is that like jump from ledge is really fast. So like when you see your opponent do like a big whiff like this, you can just like you can jump and then just nair them. Like jump like hit the jump button specifically from ledge. Um, just to give you a reminder, there's 24 frames of landing lag, so you have plenty of time to just hit them there. Okay, you finally got a tech. One I got you killed, but at least you did it. Yeah, okay, see now you're finally throwing out the gunman again. But you're like refusing to throw out cans, and you're not paying attention to what is even going on with your gunman too. Okay, good use of the up B cancel. I think that's the first time I've seen you actually need to use that. Okay, so he finally wisened up. He can just roll it. So if you throw out more clay pigeons, you're going to lose now. So please stop. Let me double check, because I forget exactly how negative it is on shield. So up B is negative 17 on shield. So you do have enough time to drop shield and F tilt it. You just need to do it immediately. Like you can't wait. Actually, oh no, you don't, because F tilt's frame 19. So you just need to turn around jab. Turn around jab is your best option. Again, please just use your gunman. Also, I never see you use dash attack can. And he's also at a percentage now where clay pigeon's not going to combo to anything true. Again, go for the moves that kill. F tilt kills. So, like, that was a big drop right there, too. I mean, fortunately for him, like, he basically SD'd every single stock. That's the best way I can put it. I don't think it's a poorly designed move. I think it's fine. I mean, it's neat. It combos into things. It's quick, but it's not safe on shield, so you can do things. It's up legit. So there's things that you can do with that. But like there, just like run up an F tilt. F tilt would guaranteed kill him on this stage no matter what. Down tilt will let him live. Like there was actually no reason for him to die there, especially since like you don't really know how to edge guard it. And when you try to edge guard up B from the side, you're gonna get caught up with it, and he's just gonna hit you, and you're gonna be knocked back to stage. So, I think the stage like wouldn't have killed you or anything like that, but he would have been able to get back. So you really need to work on your option select. You need to understand why you're using these projectiles too. Like, you had some semblance of sense with the gunman. Like, you understood what it did to just neutralize, like, Youngling's game plan. Like, I did a whole matchup analysis on it, so go back and watch the video on that. It should be in course K92, and I should have there is a document for it too, so go back and watch that. That'll tell you a lot about this matchup and what you need to know. So it's like, you understood how to use gunman in this, but your clay pigeon usage is absolutely atrocious. Like, you're throwing it out in all these situations where it is really, really extremely easy to punish. And not only that, it's not even the best punish that you could go for to cover the most amount of things. Like, you really need to learn how to use your fair. You need to learn how to use your gunman properly. And then you also need to understand, like, how to use your can effectively too. Like, there was a lot of times where I know you just kind of had a misinput, and that was the reason why nothing happened there. But you do need to really think about like why you're using each one of these projectiles. Clay pigeon's the one that you have the least amount of clue. You're just doing it because you think it looks cool to hit people, and it does damage when you do it. Like the times that you used it well, I made sure to highlight those and like tell you distinctly why I use them. every single time you use Clay Pigeon, it has to be after your opponent already made a big commitment to something. So when you throw out that Clay Pigeon, you're guaranteed to get like a good punish out of it, or you're throwing out in instances where it's so safe for you to do it and it actually covers something that you're going to actually do it. Like when you're behind that govman and he's committed to a projectile or attack, then okay, there's a sense to use it there. But most of the time, like you're doing it raw, you're doing it right next to them. But you even threw out gunman like right in front of his face too, and all these other things. And then like he eventually learned how to roll around Clay Pigeon and just up smash you too. So it's just like, he was punishing for you. Like a lot of the times that you were just like winning these, it was kind of just like you just caught your opponent sleeping a lot of the times, which, that guaranteed that's going to happen in like higher level matches too. But it's just like, you weren't really understanding what you're doing. It's just like you were throwing things at him and just enough of it worked that it worked. Like you really need to like look more of the nuances of what you're doing. Obviously you need to practice movement. That was definitely your biggest issue. Like you basically missed every single tech except for like 2 or 3 of them. Your movement in general just lacks a lot of cohesion. You're not using spacing properly as well. I highlighted a lot of those things. So really pay attention to where I'm telling you to be and where you can cover a lot of these options as well. And, get used to just being able to move and watch your opponent. Cause like that was one thing, like I watched you and like, I know you're not watching your opponent. Cause like if you were, you would have seen a lot of these punishers come from like a mile away. So you need to get comfortable to the point where you won't look at your character and your character is going to do everything that you want it to. So that's something that you can practice offline very easily. Just like, okay, let's say I messed up my Clay Pigeon combo. So let me practice those until I can do that without looking. Am I able to move my can without like accidentally hitting a Clay Pigeon? Am I able to throw the can in the correct direction I want to, like be reversing it or like be turnarounds and all that stuff? Things like that. Make sure you get it to a point where it's like it's automatic and it's going to happen no matter what. And that way you can focus on watching your opponent and then playing around that. And you'll do a lot better because of that. So that should be your main goal. And also work on your ledge trapping too. Remember, don't focus on doing anything else once your opponent is at death percent besides killing them specifically when they go for the roll. If they do jump or attack, if attack you hold shield, but if they do jump or standard, you cover that with can. But the second you see the roll, just be ready to kill them every single time. And like once you have that instilled in your system, you're going to have a lot more consistency with closing out the stocks. And it's just, you're going to understand when to go for the kill a lot better just in that one situation, just because of how much you can control with duck hunt at the ledge. So keep all that in mind, struggle on, and you'll do a lot better because of that.